Hello, or should I say, welcome. What did they say at the first Thanksgiving when the Indians and the Pilgrims got together? The Native American Indians and the Pilgrims got together. I'm not really sure what the greeting was. It wasn't ahoy. I'm not really sure, but it was a greeting of friendliness to sit down to a lovely stovetop dinner. Pocahontas put out a lovely spread of cranberry sauce, all the favorites. She was a little unknown fact about Pocahontas, wonderful cook. She actually also served a lovely roasted butternut squash. Most people don't know. Captain John Standish, if you will remember, one of the most famous pilgrims of them all. He was the first to fall asleep after the Thanksgiving dinner while watching everybody play. Hence the great tradition of eating till near obesity on Thursday, Thanksgiving. Anyway, welcome to the Thanksgiving edition of the Steve Squared Show. You know I love to give you guys some information. I'm your host, Money Man Stevie K, and of course, I kind of liked last week with the psychedelic background, so I'm going with it again today since we were kicked out of the studio. So I like that the hat, my pilgrim hat, matches my dumbbell shirt. If you see, this is, let me back up a little. Let me back up. Oh, that's nice. It just says dumb, but it's dumbbells. That's a nice look for me. I think they should bring back this hat. What do you think? I really do. I think these are things, you know what I might even have? Hold on a second. This is also something, with the pipe, right? This is a good look for me. A pipe, this is the way they did it back in the, whatever this Pilgrim Thanksgiving thing started, 1600s. I'm not really good with dates. You know when it was. They landed on the Mayflower, and the rest was history. This is my trusty pipe. It's a little loose. But I also even have, Steve would be making fun of me as the prop comic, I have a corncob pipe. Now this is when I do my farm shows, when I'm really doing rural America. Today we're doing more Pilgrim history, so the black pipe I think goes with the hat and the whole ensemble, if you will. Anyway, how are you all doing? Did you have a wonderful weekend? I'm telling you, you can't get anywhere on the roads. People start going nuts a week before a holiday. You always know a holiday week. There's a different buzz in the store. There's a different motivation of people pushing their wagons with a real velocity, a real goal, right? They're down they're pushing that wagon, arms locked, fierce. Just grabbing boxes and cranberries and cans, and they're all, and the aisles aligned, right? All the chicken broths, if you're making stuffing, all of the cans of cranberry. This is all on the end caps. This is the big time right now. Getting your standards, right? You need your cranberry. Check. You need your chicken broth to make the stuffing. Check. Do you use stovetop like they did back in the 1600s, or do you do your own stuffing? Which way do you go? Anyway, did you get the turkey? Remember I talked about a rumor there was some shortage of turkeys on Long Island? I haven't seen this anywhere. I mean, there certainly isn't in Washington, D.C., where President Biden today, I believe it was today or over the weekend, pardoned 2 turkeys. This nonsense tradition started. Do you know when this ridiculous thing started? I mean, I get it. It's a little shtick of nonsense, but this started actually in the 1800s with none other than President Abraham Lincoln, whose son asked him to save or spare their pet turkey. He said, Dad, or maybe he called him, I believe in those days they didn't say Dad or Father, or maybe he addressed him as President or Sir. However, he addressed his father, who also, by the way, always wore a stovetop hat, very famous. So he, the great emancipator, became the great turkey emancipator as he spared the life. And again, this nonsense tradition caught on And so they had these 40-pound giant turkeys. And they had them at the White House. They have this whole big whole event, right? They make it a whole showcase. I would have liked to have seen they do this whole pomp and circumstance and then whoosh, right off with their heads, and then they have a lovely turkey dinner. What's your favorite part of the turkey? Are you a wing, a leg? Hey Henry, how about a wing? Do you like the breast? Dark meat, white meat, whatever your pleasure. It's a lean meat. As someone who is always speaking to you about health and good conscious nutrition, it's a very good. But why? Why do we? Is it a myth that we feel that tired feeling? Here's the conundrum with that. Yes, there is a hormone in turkey. I believe it's tetrazinum or something. It's something like that. I might be saying it wrong. Don't quote me. But it is in the turkey meat that is somehow supposed to, cause this kind of feeling on you. Let me tell you what the real feeling is you're overstuffing yourself. That's probably what it is. It doesn't have to be turkey. If you sat and ate 12 pounds of chicken at a dinner table, you'd feel the same way. Because we can only hold a certain amount of calories at a time, or glycogen stores. Our glycogen stores, not to get technical here, but our glycogen stores can only hold a certain amount. And after that, they spill over, and can they turn into either stored as fat or burned off. And if we're just eating too much, that's what happens. That's how someone gains weight, and that's how we know we ate too much, when you feel bloated and full. So I don't think it's a turkey thing. I think it's the inability of us as humans to recognize when we've eaten enough. Kind of like a dog, right? If you gave a dog unlimited access to food, they would just keep eating until they exploded.
In your face, sucker!
You don't want to have a dog and then have that happen. By the way, this nutrition segment of the show is brought to you by our proud non-sponsor, Celsius Energy Drinks. Thanks for stopping by. I thought I would don the pilgrim hat for you guys. I didn't have the jacket or the musket to really give you the whole look. Hey, there's a movie coming out. I won't do all the movie reviews, but 2 movies I'm going to talk about. Okay, good feel movies. I really think, you might have a 4-day weekend coming up, or as many of you, this is a new thing that we do. We just take off. We make a 4-day weekend, a 6-day weekend. We do a lot of things like that as citizens. But like I was saying, the stores are crowded. The roads are crowded with traffic. The traffic is enormous now. Just to get 2 blocks, it takes forever. There's a different feel on a holiday week, right? There's a hurry, a bustle, a scurrying type of feel, right? Everybody's getting their pies. What kind of pie did you get? Did you get your apple pie? My folks are I know they are apple pie people. My dad, man, does he love apple pie. Sugar-free, though. Loves his sugar-free apple pie. That's his only really indulgence, Mr. Fitness Guy. My dad likes the apple pie. So that will be, I'm sure, donning the table, the Steve Square table. I feel bad, Steve. He's not, I don't think he's joining us today, or maybe he's somewhere. He's always around. But I like when we have the full house for a holiday show, but we're going to have a full house next week, hopefully, back in the studio, without the psychedelic background, although I really love it. I'm really digging it. I want to talk a little about what's going on in the world. As you know, I'm someone of a geographical hobbyist. I love what's going on around the world. Not as much with what's, more geologically, so to speak. And speaking of geologically, I have a couple of friends, my clients. We've spoken about them before, the Jews. This week, they are going for Thanksgiving and one of their birthdays to Iceland. Now, first there was a little story. Iceland has this famous blue lagoon, which is a beautiful 90-degree. I mean, you can imagine. Just saying the word blue lagoon sounds beautiful, gorgeous. It reminds you of the Brooke Shields movie back when she was wearing Jordache jeans. Just gorgeous. So now they hear it's going to be closed because of possible volcano. There's a famous volcano there. So this volcano picked to start having activity a few weeks ago, right? So they're thinking maybe to cancel the trip, but then they say, we're going ahead with it. Well, now I look, and I go through the paper, and I look at Newsday, and look at this. Icelandic news has actually reached Long Island newspaper. As you can see, volcano may keep Icelandic town evacuated for months. I mean, this is not a joke. There's magma. This thing is ready to go. It's going to blow this wherever this. I don't know where Iceland is. I'm sure it's somewhere cold, but this is not good. It says there's a significant likelihood that an eruption will occur somewhere along the 9-mile magma tunnel. This is ridiculous, and they're still going. I mean, I get it. You want to enjoy you had a vacation planned, but there's one thing about getting a suntan. There's another thing about getting overheated with magma and lava. Okay, they're gonna come back with quite a tan. They won't listen to me. Nobody listens. That's the problem. Everybody just talks. They don't listen. I'm trying to tell them, and they have no. That's what it sounds like. They just don't care. You have to care. Anyway, I hope it goes okay. I hope you don't land in Iceland and there's just pools of magma everywhere. But I did tell them to get me a cup of it when they get back if they want to get me something. Hot lava is always a great gift at the holiday time. I would enjoy a cup of hot lava. Staying on the around the world, this might be a new segment, Around the World, with Stevie K. Around the World with the Squares. This is interesting, and I'll tell you why. It says here, a bucket list of experiences. People are loving to go to the Far East, right? Thailand, Japan, the Philippines, and of course gorgeous places, right? We love all places around the world. They're all amazing to see. And I only picked this because Thailand was the first one on the bucket list, and this seems to be a trend. I know a lot of people that have gone to Thailand for vacations, honeymoons, what have you. And I hear that my nephew who's getting married in a couple of months, is going to Thailand, he tells me. I said, Thailand? Wow, that's some trip. It's about a 24-hour plane ride. First of all, that wouldn't work for me. But they're going to Thailand. Fantastic. Gorgeous. I mean, the tradition, the history, you'll see beautiful things, I'm sure. Wonderful. Here's the problem. The problem happens when you're walking down one of these historic streets and you have a piece of gum, maybe you throw it down for a second. Now all of a sudden you have 3 Taiwanese police, or Thailandia, whatever they're called, wrapping you up with some kind of yarn and taking you off into some kind of prison camp. Where now you're negotiating with our State Department to have your release. And you're on CNN every night with the parents crying, he didn't know it was Wrigley's gum and he spit it out. He didn't know he did it on the president's face or whatever dictator. This is why you stay where you know where you are. I know we could be better here. But I don't want to be bam slammed with one of those banana plants. I don't want to have 30 lashes with something because I didn't know the law. So I'm telling you people, and my nephew specifically, just maybe go over the laws before you go. Maybe you shouldn't wave to somebody, right? You go to the Middle East, you're supposed to, women have to wear certain things. You don't know. People just go. We just go. Because we are Americans, we don't know what we're doing. We just go. Right? We just put it on a credit card. I don't know. I'll deal with it later. And if I have to get out of some kind of prison in another country, I'll deal with that too. We deal with things later, right? You deal with everything later. I'll deal with it later. Well, let me tell you something. When you're sitting in one of those Vietnamese prison camps, and 14 months later, then you're going to wish, you know what, maybe we should have went to Disney World and saw Mickey. You know, yes, the lines are long, it's hot, I get it, but you're not in a prison. You're not getting waterboarded. I mean, this is what I would say. Let me think. Watch some movies, and then, you know, decide what you want to do. Watch Platoon. What is there to do in Thailand? And it does say here, know before you go, right? It only makes sense. 20-hour flight from New York, about $2,000 round trip flight. The Thai baht is the official currency of the country, and Thai is the native language. Things to do. It's referred to as the land of smiles. The weather is warm and fashionably hot. It says here, it doesn't really say much. Oh, it says Thailand formerly was a constitutional monarchy with a figurehead, Siam, the king of Siam. Remember that movie? I believe that was the King and I, wasn't it? Wasn't he the king of Yul Brynner, the king of Siam? Right. I remember. I watched that. It's a great movie. Although the Kingdom of Thailand dates back to the 13th century, its Grand Palace in Bangkok, one of my favorite places, was built in the 18th century. It says Bangkok's fashion scene has malls, and again, there's going to be malls. They understand where their bread is buttered. They know tourism is a big nut of their income. So I just know what you're doing over there. I'm guessing they're not going to start tossing them people in some of these, you know, bamboo prison camps. But I would just be cautious. Know what to do, what not to do. Google might save you 10 years in some kind of horrible beating. And that concludes Around the World. And then we should end with, what do you think we should end with? That's not good. That's better. You know, because you don't want to go there, and now all of a sudden you're on some kind of fake mock trial, and then you have some judge.
In your face, sucker!
And it's not going to be that. Yeah, I'm telling you. You know what you should watch? Oh my gosh, I don't know the name of the story. Midnight Express. There you go. But again, he was traveling and trying to escape with some hashish. So, but he, you know, got put into one of these Turkish prisons, and he had to escape. And that kid, his name was Billy something, and he was from Long Island. And we're always known for great things, including trying to smuggle hashish out of Turkey. But anyway, hey, my favorite food, and one of my favorite snacks, let me say, is raisins. We love raisins. I love raisins. The dried grape, if you will. So what's not to love? It's plump, it's juicy. Sun-Maid makes the best. Always go with Sun-Maid. And I'm having my raisins, and I turn around, and they're having this new thing, and I thought this was wonderful. Look at, so you know Sun-Maid, right? You know the box. You know the box. Sun-Maid raisins, right? It's got the Sun-Maid girl. She's getting them right under a glowing. It just shows you the sun, just sun-plumped and juicy raisins. Now I turn it over, and it says help. So now I'm scared. I'm thinking that it's some kind of encoded message from people that are putting these raisins in the boxes or getting them, and they're asking me, you know, this is their way to message. And I said, that's unbelievable. And then I open up another box of raisins, and it says first. So now I'm getting a little interested. And then I continue. Brown. White. So now it seems that raisins have gotten into the, you know, teaching and educationally learning new words. Here's a couple more. Saw and read. How nice. And when long. long way. So I think this is really a nice, little thing that Sunmade is doing. They're really trying to teach kids words. But again, how do you know? To me, what if like someone like me is eating it, and I'm very well versed in words like first and long, I like to hope. I'm past that. Challenge me, Sunmade. Maybe, put something on the back, little trivia, things like that. Start getting in. I don't really know why. It's something to do with this mouse, abcmouse.com. I don't know. But, oh boy, if you know me, you know I love raisins. I could eat box after box of raisins. I just love raisins. They're plump, nutritious, delicious, and wonderful. It's a great snack. Sometimes you like them with nuts. Maybe you like some almonds and raisins. Very good. If you know me, I'm a big fan of that. Delicious. So, I look at this next little story. It's not really a story, but it caught my eye. We are all fans of the medical profession, right? We all love to laud them. Heroes, right? First responders, medical, nurses, doctors. They do a tireless job. Wonderful job. Unappreciated most often. So we always give them shout-outs. But this caught my eye. And I'm not going to tell you why. So it says here, from here to hero. It says, an accelerated BS in nursing in only 16 months. That gets me a little nervous. Does it get you a little nervous? Let me read it again. An accelerated BS in nursing in only 16 months. That seems a little bit... that seems a little... a little worrisome to me. I'm all for acceleration and getting things done quickly. But when you're in the healthcare profession, I'm a little traditional. I like my healthcare workers to be to take their time. Don't rush through the heart, the brain, the organs. Take your time. It's okay. Take the full 20 months. I'd rather than you kind of cram in the whole body in 16 months. There's no rush, especially when you're talking about getting a BS in nursing. That always worries me. I don't understand. Don't accelerate that. What do you want? Someone? No. Would you want? You're laying on the table. Your anesthesiologist is just about to put you under. You're getting surgery, right? You're right under for brain surgery, and he says, "Don't worry. This surgeon is fantastic. He finished his brain surgery academics in under a year. He took a 12-year program. He banged it out in 6 months. You're fine. He breezed right through the old cerebral hemisphere. He doesn't even know where the cortex is. But he passed the exams. You're good to go. He accelerated the brain. Take your time. Take your time. All good things come to those who wait. I really feel that's a problem. You want to accelerate anything else, do it. Teacher, a lawyer. I think when you're holding someone's heart in your hand, I'd prefer they took their time. I'm not a big stuffing person. I like the turkey. I like peas and carrots. Oh boy, that's my favorite vegetable. We talked about I love raisins. I love peas and carrots. But if you're going to get peas, let me give you some advice. My mom, she always gets, and she hooked me onto this, so I might be partial, because it's always what you grow up with. But the brand is called Le Sueur. Very famous. This is no Green Giant, no Del Monte. Don't do that to yourselves. It's a special occasion. Go for the $2 can, not the 99-cent can. I know we got to save where we can, but you spend that extra buck on the Le Sueur peas. Le Sueur peas. Oh, mwah. It's magnifico. They're delicious. They're sweeter than your average pea. A little nicer. They have a little better flavor. They come in a silver can. Very fancy. But go with the Le Sueur peas. Carrots are a little trickier. You know, it's all on how you make it. You could get the prepackaged carrots. My mom likes to get the fresh off the stalk. The stalk? Is that what it is? Off the bunch, like a bunch of carrots. And then you... My dad would always have that. He always has that job, right? He's got to, what do you call that? Peel the carrots. And then they chop it up. I should have did that tonight. I should have really did a real turkey feast for you guys. Maybe we'll do that next week in the studio. I'll make a whole turkey. You want to see a turkey made a cool way? This caught my eye. You know the Bethpage Old Village Restoration here on Long Island. They always do fun things. They are inviting you to an 1863 experience when Lincoln was president. This is great. They are roasting a turkey, hopefully not the pardoned one that Lincoln did, on an open fire. So they're going to roast the turkey, you know, turn the spit. There'll be traditional fiddle music and a banjo player. This is great. Pumpkin pie baked in a beehive oven. I don't know what that is. This is coming up this weekend. Saturday, November 25th, and Sunday, November 26th, 10 to 4. Last admittance, 2:30. Old Bethpage Village Restoration. You know where it is. Oyster Bay Road, or actually Round Swamp Road. We'll get you there quicker. Tickets are available online, but you can purchase it at the door for $15 for an adult. $12 if you pretend to be a child. $12 for seniors. Which, for them, a senior is 60 and old. Actually, no. For them, a senior is 99 and older. Boy, that's cheap, right? Come on. That seems kind of old. And library passes are not valid for this event. Yeah. So if you're trying to pawn off one of the library passes. 16 months. It's too quick. I don't want my doctors on accelerated programs. This is going to be so... I might go. I probably not. But I always say I'm going to go to these stupid things, and then I never go. Because I think it would be amazing to see it. I'd like... Maybe I should make the Thanksgiving turkey like that on an open... You remember this thing a couple of years ago? It got popular, the deep frying the turkey. That became a little trendy thing about, several years back. They roasted it, or they, dropped it in a big... We like to fry anything as a country. If there's a way to turn even a lean protein into some kind of fried fat glob of artery blocking goop, we can do it. That's what we do here. We like to do that here in the States, as they say. Welcome to our land. We'd like to share our feast with you. Polka, as they used to call her. They were very informal back then. Polka, will you please bring the Le Sueur peas and the stovetop stuffing to our friends, the Marsapequans, which later became the Massapequas. That was actually the first crime family, was actually at that first feast. Oh, sure. Everybody thinks it was very, no, this is one of the first mob boss crime families. Also sailed on the Mayflower and partook in the first Thanksgiving. Definitely. The old Stuffino crime family. The old Pilgrimos. They were the Pilgrimos. They were a big-time crime family. And thus, that's how the first mob started in America, at the first Thanksgiving. I like to give you all these facts. This is a little... I don't know. I'm a fan of Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart. He's funny. By the way, it's 7 o'clock. We're at the midpoint of the show. Right, you know where we are at the show right now? You've gone up the roller coaster. You're at the top. Show can't get any better than it is already. It's fantastic. What we're going to do now is we're going to come over that arch, and we're going to now accelerate down to the ground, and hopefully not plummet to our death. But I was looking. Kevin Hart was given the Mark Twain, or is going to be given the Mark Twain Prize for Humor. The Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize for Lifetime Achievement in American Humor. I have little apprehensions about misgivings about this, and I feel like things are now just giving people awards because it's trendy, it looks good for them, saying, "Oh, we're giving an award." He's 44 years old. It's not about age, or maybe it's a little about age. Is that a lifetime achievement award? Has he given a lifetime of humor and achievement in the field of comedy at his age again, and in his body of work? I like Kevin Hart. This is not about Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart. I think he's great in movies. I think he's a great actor. I loved him in that movie. I forget the name of the movie that he did with Bryan Cranston, where he was his caregiver. It wasn't a comedy by any means, but it was such a good movie. He's a good actor. He's funny. I think he's funny. I watched this show the other night with Will Ferrell, Heart to Heart. He's got a show where he interviews people. So yeah, he stand up. Everything he does is great. But Lifetime Achievement Awards, so now to me it feels a little bit like you're just trying to give it, to kind of fit the trend narrative of what we're in now, of saying this will look good for us, as opposed to saying, you know what, let's give it to somebody that's had a body of work over their lifetime. And not that you can't have a lifetime body of work at 44, but maybe a Lifetime Achievement Award to me seems maybe a little longer body of work, something like that. I don't know. I would say the same thing if it was Sebastian Maniscalco. I mean, you could say he's in his 40s. I'd say, yeah, and he's not where Kevin Hart is by any means. Sebastian Maniscalco is more making his bones as a stand-up comic. He's not tapped into what Kevin Hart has in the movie industry. What Kevin Hart has done. So, but I'm just picking somebody out that's maybe a contemporary age range and things like that. Like, let's, pump the brakes a little bit. And I always like when they give those Lifetime Achievement Awards to somebody that's a little older. That's what it is. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award. Wouldn't it feel funny to give a Lifetime Achievement Award to like a 19-year-old? Thank you for your body. I don't know. Just bothers me. Everything bothers me. I'll tell you another thing that bothers me is this Cameo crap. This has been going on for a few years now. Cameo, where you can have a message sent to you by a celebrity because it's just another avenue for them to make money and just another way for you to feel like you have a friend, a celebrity friend that somehow knows your name now. So you can get anybody, right? They're all on there, and to me, I don't know. Wouldn't it? It feels a little weird, if you had like, Tom Cruise on there or something. It would feel a little weird, or if you had like this guy.
In your face, sucker!
Like, who wants somebody saying that to you, even if they're a celebrity? But so it's becoming a big gift for the holidays. People are like giving people that. Lindsay Lohan is going for $400. See, here's a picture of Lindsay. I love Lindsay. I think Lindsay for $400 is about right. Mean Girl star. Everything. Herbie. I loved her in Herbie with Michael Keaton. I love her in anything. She's great. But the thing is, the message. So you're paying for this message. Sometimes they could be 2 seconds. It's up to them, the length, the celebrity. It's up to them what they want to say, what they want to do. Who else? Dee Snider from Long Island. The great Dee Snider. He's what is he charging? $250 for Dee Snider. It seems a bit high. I had some other names. Michael Rappaport. $200. Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong, $150. George Wendt from Cheers, Norm, $125. Barry Williams, who just got eliminated from Dancing with the Stars, Greg Brady, $140 to talk to Greg Brady and have him say happy birthday. Jamie Farr. Now, how old is Jamie Farr? Klinger from MASH. He must be 100 years old. Is he gonna? Leah Thompson, great, Back to the Future. 125. Alyssa Milano. Maybe she'll send you a message from the shower. $300 for Alyssa Milano. That seems a little high. Priscilla Presley on everybody's minds right now. With this is timely. I think this will be her big moment because the movie's coming out. Priscilla, it's out already. Priscilla Presley, $200 to talk to the king's wife, and for an extra 100, you can Elvis will say something to you. They might be able to conjure up a little bit of the king. You pay the extra 100. Yeah, baby. Oh, baby, I love me a pound of bacon right now, baby. Nothing good right now than a pound of bacon, baby. Suspicious mother. I know suspicious mother. So Priscilla 200, you get the pair for $3. I don't know. They'll probably have an Elvis in person. Maybe that guy Stephen Charles is going to do our show. That's a good deal. Dee Wallace. Do you know who Dee Wallace is? Of course you don't. Dee Wallace was in E.T. She was the mom. I think she was the mom in Cujo too. $50. Is there no shame? You've done these classic movies. You're a forever. You're a forever because you were in these E.T., Cujo. I mean, they're forever movies, and you're in them. Now you're going to be pointing yourself off for $50 to say hi to strangers. There's something tacky about it. There's something. Would you see Tom Cruise on here? I feel the need for speed, Johnny. I mean, you're not going to... I would like it. I'm going to start one where you get to maybe get a message from somebody that's long gone from us. Maybe I want a message from Lincoln. Hello, Stephen. Welcome. Say a little hello from the great beyond. And then he tells you a little about the Civil War. And that's what I like. Oh, Stephen, you would have been a wonderful fighter for the North. Something like that. He tips his cap a little bit. Babe Ruth. Who else would I like to speak with that's long gone? King Tut, right? Maybe a little message from King Tut. I'd like to speak. That's what I would start. An app of people long gone. I want to speak to these people. Tom Arnold, $100. Come on, show some self-respect. I think it's ridiculous. And you pay the money, and if they say they might not. You're supposed to fill out this little profile so you could say, oh, I'm getting this for so and so. They like fishing, and call them by their nickname, Alfredo. They like that. It's just something phony about it. Something ridiculous and money grabbing for these celebrities. Don't fill their pockets. We have this enamored thing with celebrities that oh my God, they'll talk to it. Like, I'm not giving somebody $150 for that. Let's stop it. Well, maybe who would I do? Maybe I would do. I don't know who I would do. Maybe I would do a crime boss. Speak to a Don Corleone, Carlo Gambino, an Al Capone. I don't know. Hey, Steve, watch your back. Something like that would be fun. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Oh, before I forget, donate. We always love this time of year. It's great to be with family, but always remember to donate to those less fortunate than yourself. Your selfish self. I know you're going to stuff your face, text and Instagram on your social media how wonderful you are, post pictures with your Thanksgiving dinner like you're special. But take a minute. Take a moment in between your posting and give a gift to something that actually might help other than social media. Island Harvest always does a wonderful job with the food donations around Long Island. Their collection campaign has run from November 1st to December 30th. You can give a gift of $35. A gift of $35 will help support a holiday meal for a Long Island family. But you can always bring canned food, frozen turkey. They had a really great turnout at the Bethpage Bank this past weekend, or they were doing that drive-through. You drop off a frozen turkey. So they do a lot of great things. Island Harvest is another one. Toys for Tots is going to be coming up for the holidays. I'm a big advocate, and I've been a big contributor to that program with the Marines. They do a wonderful job providing toys for kids around Long Island. So think a little bit about what you want to do. Pick something you want to do. It doesn't have to be everything. But donate a coat. It's cold this time of year. You know? Donate, drop off a can of something. Next time you're in the dollar store, pick up a couple of cans. Pick a toy. Do something. You do nothing. You just sit around and do nothing. You know who I'm talking to. I'm looking right at you. Do something with yourself, for God's sake.
No. Yes.
Do you like gift cards for the holidays? I don't know if I'm a big gift card giver. This was a little article about gift cards, and here's this woman had the exact problem I had. She said, I use part of the gift card, and you're always left with $3, $2, $1.75, $4, and then you're stuck with, you can't use it, right? You get a $30 gift card, you buy something for $26, that's $4 wasted. Now you got 12 gift cards with I have 15 gift cards with like $2 and change. $3 and change, because then what are you doing with it? Where are you going to go run and buy something for $3, or you're not going to do that. I mean, I try to use them when I can, but that's the annoying part of a gift card. Unless you almost get it to the dollar, you're always buying something that comes within the limits. So it's very rare you buy something over, so you could just apply the 30, and then because then it creates a whole online fiasco, and you never get your order. So I agree with this woman, Jane Campton from Long Beach, who says it's very frustrating, the gift card. But there's some things, I mean, you get gift cards, you lose them, you don't know where they are. I find I don't like to give gift cards for the sheer fact that if I'm giving a gift, I don't want it to feel obligatory. I like to put some thought into it. It could be a $5 gift, or a $50. It's not about a nominal amount, but it's the thought. This is the time of year about thinking and about those kind of thoughts. So to give somebody a gift card, it's almost like, yeah, here's your gift. Here's $25 to Starbucks, which, by the way, you might not get your $25 coffee as they are picketing. Go Starbucks! I love that. I love anarchy, especially where Steve works. A bunch of Starbucks workers, they've always had this thing. They're trying to unionize, get some union going over there. Speaking of crime family, you don't want to start unionizing around cutting in on the crime family's union business, but Starbucks wants to unionize, and they're giving, it's very vague. Some of the Starbucks locations are unionized, or they've given the option, but they don't adhere to any of it. The company, they really don't meet with the union rep or give certain benefits or things because you're in the union. It's very vague now because it's very piecemeal. It's not a blanket thing where all Starbucks workers are in the union, or it's a auto workers union or electrical unions worker union, something like that, like my dad was part of. Now he's retired, but shout out to Local 3, bang. But they're trying, and this is how what they need to do. I'll tell you what they need to do. They need someone like Norma Ray, played wonderfully by not Holly Hunter. It was played by the Deborah Winger. Was it Deborah Winger? No, it wasn't Deborah Winger. Oh, boy. Oh, no, it was Forrest Gump's mom. Sally Field. Jeez, how can I forget Sally Field was Norma Ray? Remember, she held up the sign? Great scene. She stands on the table trying to start a union, So that is what Starbucks needs. So anyway, Starbucks, they go on strike on their Starbucks Red Cup Day, which was their big promotional day where they hand out these red cups. Apparently you're allowed to go back in and get a free refill, whatever nonsense. Let me tell you something about Starbucks coffee anyway. I don't drink coffee. I've never drank a cup of coffee in my life, so I have no use for Starbucks. I just feel like it's very, and Steve would get mad at me again, it's very bougie. I feel Starbucks is there's one on every block in the city or everywhere. I gotta have my Starbucks. It's just a thing to say. I'm sure the coffee's way better, and I've heard this from many coffee drinkers. They much, much prefer the Dunkin', 7-Eleven, something like that. I don't know. I can't speak on it because I can't speak on it. I'm not a coffee aficionado. Not a cappuccino, not an espresso. I've never had any of these caffeinated beverages other than my favorite, Celsius. You want to talk Celsius? You want to talk energy drinks? This is what you want to talk caffeine? I'll bring it to you. Celsius. That's what I can speak on. 7:17. Moving right along. Let's see what else we want to talk about. Let me talk about these two movies. There's a couple of good classic movies I think you should bring the whole family to see. The first one is called Thanksgiving. How nice. It's beautiful. What a heartwarming tale. And if I could find it for you, I will. Where is my heart? There it is. Thanksgiving. Directed by none other than our favorite Eli Roth. So I got the synopsis down here. We're going to talk a little bit about this movie. Thanksgiving. An axe-wielding maniac terrorizes residents of Plymouth, Massachusetts. None other, that's what we were talking about. After a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy. Picking off victims one by one, the seemingly random revenge killings soon become part of a larger, sinister plan. In a nutshell, it's twisted, sinister, and suspenseful. A great family fun movie. The kids are all from school, right? You just shopped Friday, right? Friday's the big Black Friday day, the day after Thanksgiving, where people stampede and kill the poor workers. It's great. Real spirit of the season. I gotta get that last piece of lighting fixture for my home. I gotta get that discounted bed. I want that toy. I was so angered. On Channel 12 News, they go to the toy fairs, and these people are pitching the new toys, and they do it now for the holiday season. So they're coming out with this, I forget what it was called, but it was basically ring toss. They're tossing, it was called corners. And you're tossing the ring on a ring catcher, the post. $80? And it's been invented 50 years ago. It's called ring toss, idiots. If someone buys that for their kid, boy, do they deserve what they get. An axe-wielding maniac. I think you don't need to put maniac there. Doesn't that sound redundant? If you're wielding an axe, you're probably a maniac anyway. That's assumed. Right? It's not an axe-wielding accountant. An axe-wielding normal guy. You're wielding an axe, you got many problems, and maniac is probably under your adjectives, under your description, under your character description. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's redundant. An axe-wielding maniac terrorizes residents of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Sounds nice. Beautiful, fun-filled holiday classic. What else can we take the family to see? You don't want to see that. I get it. Might be a little too much for Timmy. Timmy and Jenny, they don't want to go see that. They don't want to, you don't want to see somebody in a pilgrim hat with a chainsaw. It's not the real true meaning of Thanksgiving. Maybe you want to see a classic, a holiday classic. It's a Wonderful Knife. Not Life. Not the Jimmy Stewart tearjerker. Oh, Mary. Oh, Zuzu. No. No, no, no. This is called It's a Wonderful Knife. Let's see what this little fun holiday classic has in store. I wrote the synopsis down. Winnie's life is less wonderful 1 year after saving her town from a psychotic killer on Christmas Eve. When she wishes she was never born, sticking with that same Jimmy Stewart thematic, good plot line, when she wishes she was never born, she finds herself magically transported to a nightmarish parallel universe. Sounds very Stranger Things to me. With the murderous maniac, again, maniac, now back, she must team up with a misfit to identify the culprit and get back to her own reality. I feel the word maniac is just, in these synopses, it's just being thrown around. With the murderous maniac. Yes, we know. You're running around a serial killer. Yes, you're probably a maniac. You don't need to say a maniac serial killer. Serial is important because that's part of the identity. Are they a one-time killer, serial killer? Okay, they're redundant. They kill a lot. We get it. That's important. Maniac is not important. Of course you're a maniac. If you're running around with a chainsaw, an axe wielding, you're wielding an axe, you're a maniac. Goes without saying. It's all about editing. I like things quicker. Get it out there, get it done. When? Today. Long. You can learn from everywhere, even the box of raisins. We're an educational show as well as a show about minutia. I like to think that not only do we deliver 59 minutes of useless information, trivia, around the world now, all kinds of things. I like to think, we throw in a nugget here and there that could be useful. Anything? What else would I want to talk to you about? Is this anything interesting? This is an... before I tell you this was... I'm going to give you one guess. I'm going to show you the scene. You're going to tell me what channel this movie's on. I'm going to show you the scene. You're going to guess. Bam. Let me show it. It's a little blurry, right? I feel like, is it my eyes or are we a little hazy? Probably a little blurry, but you can see. You get the idea. Man and a woman holding hands with a lovely Christmas light show behind them. Of course, this is a Hallmark movie classic crap called Holiday Hotline. It's always the same, right? And it's always the same. After leaving London, Abby works for a cooking hotline and connects with an anonymous caller, a single father around the holidays. She has the accent, he's American, right? Or it's vice versa. It's the guy, the Hugh Grant, and he, can I carry your baguette? And, and then they, a holiday Christmas, or some nonsense. I wish that they would get rid of, if you're watching Optimum, please remove, I want my Hallmark channel removed from my television. I don't even like clicking over and having to see this kind of a scene of this phony, ridiculous, nonsensical, this is not real life. Stop contriving these events. I hate the Hallmark channel. Every movie's the same. A holiday time, right? The overworked, right, woman, she's a power broker, she works in New York, he's on a farm with an axe and a rugged, button-down shirt. She's gonna make it in the big city, but she comes back, and all of a sudden, her accent that she's hidden from the big city people comes out. And I'll tell you something, and all of a sudden she's Southern again, and they rekindle a love. Maybe they fall together in a bale of hay and look into each other's eyes. But I can't. That promotion's waiting for me in the big city. Oh, that's all right. You love me, Come on. It's crap, man. Go see It's a Wonderful Knife. Right? It's a beautiful tale of murder, axe-wielding murder. That's what you want to see at the holiday time. Insanity! That's what's really true. That's what's going on. We don't want to see the Hallmark movie channel movies. Blech! I'll tell you what I think of the Hallmark movie channel. If I could find it, I'll tell you. Let me tell you what I think of the Hallmark movie channel. That's what I think. Anyway, to finish up, let's finish up on a good story. 726. This is such a great story. These are about service dogs. I'm, me, a big fan of the dogs. These are about service dogs, and they featured a couple in particular, how these local dogs are really saving the day. It talks about a lot of these dogs are going to veterans. This is Kenzo. He's a yellow Labrador Retriever, 3 years old. And the Air Force vet, Nathan, has been with Kenzo, and he retrieves items for me. He was injured and cannot get around. And his service dog, Kenzo, has made his life easier for him the past year and a half. He retrieves items for him, water bottles, car keys. He said Kenzo, who is the first service dog from, it's called America's Vet Dogs. So you can become part of this program if you're, I guess, a vet. But I don't know if you have to be a vet. This is a service dog program. And a lot of these dogs are it's all part of this. So it says, what about my dog? So it says, if your pup is neither a guide dog nor a service dog, but is in need of some training, maybe your dog needs some training. They're not going to be a professional seeing eye dog. They're not up to that. They're not going to make it in that world. That's a dream. That's a dog dream way off that they can't attain. They're not going to be a service dog either. They have no service in them. But maybe your dog needs some training. It's a little unruly. It's a little wild. It's just like rambunctious, we like to say. We don't like to say anything negative about it. All dogs are wonderful. It says Connor Driscoll of Wantagh may be able to help. The 30-year-old dog trainer of Connor's Canines will come to your house and help with behavior modification. First, he'll work on your family. He'll get the relationship back. No, he's going to work on your spouse, get their behavior in check. Then he will work on the dog. The biggest problem with new dog owners, they give the dog too much freedom, he says. Too much run of the house. You need to reel them in and show them who's boss. So Connor will do this for you. Dogs require a lot of time. He mainly these are the issues that Connor deals with. Pulling on the leash. Say that, they're pulling and they don't let you direct them. They pull you. Jumping up, not listening, and mouthing off. It says, mouthing off. You son of a bitch. When a dog jumps up, people tend to push them down with their hands. And hands to dogs are associated with playing. So what he says is let the dog maul you. Let them rip your face to shreds. Don't try to block it. And then they'll understand when you're now wearing a mask and you have just got out of the hospital from 6 months stay, they'll feel bad, he says. Kind of a Pavlov theory of training. You might require a new eye, maybe a new nose, but they'll understand that they did wrong because they'll see that you're now in a body cast and blind. But don't put your hands up to block. They just look at that as playing. It's about establishing ground rules and showing how to say no. And also how to tell a dog they're doing a good job and how to reward them. He will get into it. For more info, go to cnnork9-training.com. That's CONORK 9-training.com. You speak to Connor Driscoll. You can call 603, whatever that is. That's probably in Thailand. 603-296-7503. He will discuss his rates and where you live and, really help you out. Here's a lovely dog, Sheba. She's a German Shepherd, 6 years old. She's helping someone that was suffering from brain. I mean, these dogs are remarkable. All joking aside, they are remarkable. What these dogs can do and how they really can sense the personality of their owner and what their needs are and how their temperament should be. So it's just a wonderful, fabulous thing that these dogs do, and I think it's definitely, especially for the vets, to give them some kind of companionship, and for anybody. So that's a nice. I like to end on something nice and heartwarming. And see, I'm the nice guy, as opposed, contrary to what Steven says about me. I like to, I'm not all about knife axe wielding murderers and terrible movies at the holidays. I like to give something. Don't forget, what homework did I give you? Think about going to the dollar store, getting something for Island Harvest. Toys for Tots is coming up. Do that. You'll see boxes. They're all out in all the banks, in all the libraries. They're everywhere. Do it, do it, do it. It's important to give everybody a little more focus, especially this time of year, and not just this time of year. I know we do it this time of year, but it should be done all year long, and it's important. So, with that, on a good note, I wish everybody a safe, happy, tremendously happy Thanksgiving. To all the families, to my family, happy Thanksgiving. We'll find out how everybody's Thanksgiving was next week on the Steve Squared Show in the studio. Hopefully we'll have some guests, some surprises. Hopefully Tony and Steve will be there and I won't be alone with my Miles Standish hat. But for myself, Funny Man Stevie K, and the Steve Squared Show, have a happy Thanksgiving, a wonderful week. And remember, enjoy bring people to the table. That's what it's about. Happy Thanksgiving.